Hello everyone, in today's video let us learn about asexual reproduction in fungi. Before that, let us see what is reproduction. Reproduction is the formation of new individuals having all the characteristics typical of the species. In fungi we get to see two types of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, and in this video we are going to concentrate on asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is also known as somatic reproduction because in this type of reproduction, specialized sex cells or sex organs are not being formed. Also, we do not see the fusion of nuclei occurring in asexual reproduction. So, the karyogamy process is absent. Karyogamy stands for fusion of nuclei. The fungi is highly pleomorphic in nature. They exhibit different forms at different stages. For example, if there are two types of fungi, these two types of fungi could be morphologically same under asexual stage or when they are undergoing asexual stage, but the same two fungi will appear differently or will be totally different when they are undergoing sexual state. Or some fungi will have asexual stage but they could lack sexual stage. So it is very difficult for us to analyze actually what is the form of fungi it is during the reproduction. So to overcome such confusions, Henneberg and Weisserberg in 1977 has proposed a naming system that is widely accepted by everybody. So according to this system, there are three forms of fungi during reproduction, that is telomorph, anomorph and holomorph. Telomorph is the term which is used to describe the sexual stage of fungus. Telomorph stage is also called as meiosporic stage, and anomorph is used to describe the asexual stage of fungus. It is also called as mitosporic stage. Then holomorph is the term which is used to describe the whole fungus in all its forms and potentialities. Telomorph and anomorph, these two stages together can be called as a holomorphic stage. So in asexual reproduction, this is the life cycle of a fungi where this picture is depicting both asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, the fungal mycelium will produce certain spore producing structures which will produce certain spores, and these spores will again germinate to give mycelium. So we will see what are the different types of spores that is being produced by fungi during asexual reproduction. So let us look into the methods of asexual reproduction in fungi. So the first method under asexual reproduction in fungi is fragmentation. So fragmentation occurs in some fungi when the hyphae breaks, and the broken hyphae will now start to form a new fungi. They will germinate to form a new fungi. So fragmentation may occur accidentally by tearing off of parts of mycelium through external forces. Okay, so here in fragmentation, the fungal hyphae is going to get broken down. So this broken piece of hyphae will give rise to a new individual. And this fragmentation, as I told you, will occur accidentally due to various external damages. The other type of asexual reproduction is by budding. So budding is usually seen in yeast. During budding, the cell wall of the fungi will bulge and it will get softened in the way in this area where the bulging process is happening and the softening processing is happening. There are various enzymes which are involved in making the cell wall bulge. Okay, so the protoplasm along with the cell wall, the protoplasm also will bulge out in this region and they form a small protuberance. During this period, the parent nucleus also starts dividing into two, wherein one of the nucleus will be called as daughter nucleus and the daughter nucleus will start migrating into the small protuberance. Later, this protuberance will enlarge in its size to form a bud, and during this time a septum, a cross section or a cross wall we call as a septum. The septum is laid down at the joining of the bud with mother cell. Then the bud is going to separate out from the mother cell, and this bud which is being generated will start germinating to form a new individual. This process is called as budding. Now in some fungi the bud will get separated from the mother cell, but in some fungi the bud will be still attached and they keep budding. Once the bud is being formed, one single bud is being formed, when it is still attached to mother cell, they form more buds, and this will give an appearance of a mycelium. So therefore this type of fungi is also called as pseudomycelium, where the bud will be still attached to mother cell and it appears like a false mycelium, therefore it is called as pseudomycelium. The other type of asexual reproduction that we see is the fission of a somatic cell. This is like your binary fission. During this, what happens is a mature cell, a mature fungal cell will start elongating. As it elongates, its nucleus also divides into two, where one of it will be the daughter nuclei. The daughter nuclei will separate along with the cytoplasm inside the mature cell. A double cross wall will be laid down in the middle of the two daughter cells. The first step, the mature cell will elongate, then the nucleus divides to form a mother nuclei and a daughter nuclei. The daughter nuclei will separate along with the cytoplasm. As it is separating, a double cross wall is formed in the middle to form two daughter cells. Ultimately, the middle layer of the double cross wall will degenerate and both the daughter cells will get separated. Now, this type of fission is observed in Saccharomyces pobbae and Schizosacromyces family. Budding is usually seen in Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and fragmentation is usually observed. It is very common. It is seen in Aspergillus, it is seen in Penicillium, or whenever we culture some fungi under laboratory conditions. So we pick some mycelium from the mother culture and we plate it on a new synthetic media. So there what we are doing is actually we are breaking some of the hyphae and picking that broken hyphae and putting it on a new synthetic media, so that the new hyphae, the broken hyphae will give rise to a new individual. So that is a fragmentation process which is generally carried out in our laboratories as well. Apart from these methods, in asexual reproduction, fungi will produce spore. So let us see asexual spore formation in fungi. Now the spore formation is the characteristic feature of fungi. Different fungi produces different types of spores. Okay, let us see what are the different types of asexual spores that are being produced by this fungi. The first type of spores that is being produced by the fungi is called as arthrospore. Arthrospore are very primitive type of spores which are formed by the breaking up of fungal mycelium. Here if you see, this is a fungal mycelium. Here each vegetative cell is going to get broken down from the mother hyphae, and that each vegetative cell is going to act as a arthrospore. This is similar to fragmentation process, but in fragmentation, it's not that one vegetative cell is actually breaking down. The hyphae will break at any point. Okay, but in arthrospore formation, what happens is one vegetative cell will get separated from the hyphae, and that vegetative cell is going to give rise to a new individual. So that vegetative cell which is being separated from a mother cell is going to act as an arthrospore. This is usually seen in Geotrichum and Trichosporium. The next type of asexual spore is chlamydospore. These are usually formed during unfavorable condition, and the chlamydospores are thick-walled single-celled spores which are highly resistant to the adverse conditions. What happens here is the hyphal cell, the vegetative cell of the hyphae under unfavorable conditions will contract, they lose water, and they enlarge in its size and they form a thick walled chlamydospores. A thick cell wall will be formed around it to form a chlamydospore. When there are favorable conditions, this each chlamydospore will give rise to new individual. Actually, the chlamydospores are dormant in nature. Under unfavorable conditions, the vegetative cell will store all the nutrients in them. The cell wall will get thickened, they get rounded up, and during unfavorable condition, this will be formed, wherein the vegetative hyphae it gets degenerated under these conditions. Whereas these chlamydospores can live for several years and for several months under these unfavorable conditions, and whenever the conditions are favorable, at this time the chlamydospores will germinate to form a new individual. Now, if the chlamydospores are present in between these cells, in between the vegetative hyphae, then such chlamydospores are called as intercalary chlamydospores, and the chlamydospores which are present at the terminal end of the hyphae or at the apical region of the hyphae, then we call them as terminal chlamydospores. We also get to see blastospores formation in fungi. Blastospore is again a type of asexual spore. Now, this blastospore is actually a budding spores which is usually formed at the terminal end of the hyphae. Now, this at the apical region of the hyphae, the vegetative cell that is present at the apical region of the hyphae will start forming a bud, and each bud will be called as a spore. Okay, now this blastospore formation is usually seen in filamentous fungi. This is completely different from budding. There the complete yeast cell, one single cell or a one complete cell is going to form two cells, whereas in blastospore it is one vegetative cell from the hyphae is going to form a bud, and this bud is going to act as a spore. So these blastospores may remain attached to the hyphae, and the bud will further start branching, and they form further budding. They will form a branching chain of blastospores. It is usually seen in Basidiomycetes and Zygomycetes family. Apart from all these spores, the fungi also produces two important spores called as sporangiospores and conidiospores. Sporangiospores are called as endogenous spores because these sporangiospores are present inside a sac-like structure called as sporangium, whereas conidiospores are usually borne on a hyphae, special hyphae called as conidiophore, whereas they are present exogenously. They are present outside the hypha, but they will be attached to the hypha. Now, in my further slide, let us look into the formation of the sporangiospores. This is the vegetative hypha. During the reproductive state, the vegetative hypha will branch out and the branches will be erect. This erect branch that is being formed during the reproductive phase, we call them as sporangiophore. As the sporangiophore is being matured, the sporangiophore will start swelling to form a columella, and around which there is a cell wall and a membrane present. Now this is called as sporangial wall, and there is a columella. So on the sporangiophore, a columella and a sporangial wall is being formed. Now this around the sporangial wall, whatever is present is called as sporangium. This is the sporangium that is being present. Now during this time, simultaneously the cytoplasm and the nucleus that is present in the hypha will start migrating towards the columella region and the sporangium region. Now the cytoplasm that is present in the columella region is called as columella plasm, and the cytoplasm which is present inside the sporangium is called as sporoplasm. The nucleus has now migrated towards columella and later it reaches the sporoplasm. In the sporoplasm, the nucleus will start dividing mitotically to produce numerous nucleus. Once the numerous nucleus is being formed, around each nucleus a cross wall is being developed. Once the cross wall is developed around each nucleus along with the cross wall is going to act as sporangiospores. So this is how the sporangiospores are being formed. From a mature sporangium, the sporangiospores will escape into the environment through a exit papillae that is present on the sporangial wall. There will be a pore on the sporangial wall. We call them as exit papillae. Through this, the sporangiospores gets dispersed into the environment. In some fungi, the sporangial wall will rupture and the spores gets dispersed into the environment. So that is about the formation of sporangiospores and how sporangiospores gets dispersed into the environment. Now let us see the structure of these sporangiospores or the sporangium. So there is a vegetative hypha. From the vegetative hypha arises a sporangiophore. Now the sporangiophore is a stalk on which the sporangium is present. Now inside the sporangium there are numerous sporangiospores which will give rise to new individuals. In some fungi, the sporangiospores are motile. So the motile sporangiospores are called as zoospores and the non-motile sporangiospores are called as aplanospores. Non-motile sporangiospores will not bear flagella, whereas zoospores, which are motile, will bear flagella on them. So zoospores will help in the flagella that is present in the zoospores will help the spore to swim from one place to another place, whereas aplanospores will get dispersed through air or it might get dispersed through some animals. So that is all about the sporangiospore formation. Now let us look into the conidia or conidiospore formation. Now conidia are asexual spores, conidiospores, or we also call them as conidia. They are all asexual spores which are borne on a special hyphae called as conidiophore. Like we have sporangiophore in sporangiospore formation, there is another stalk which will bear conidia. The stalk, the hyphal stalk on which the conidia is borne is called as conidiophores. Now this conidia are different from sporangiospores as they are not produced inside a bag-like structure. They are present exogenously, so they are different from the sporangiospores. Now let us look into the different types of conidiophore formation. The first type of conidiophore is called as free conidiophore. Like your sporangiospore, in free conidiophore there will be a single hyphae, single erect stalk on which the conidia will be borne, and that we call it as free conidiophore. Whereas there are other different types of conidiophores. So let us look into those. The first type is called as cinema here. This cinema, in the plural form, it is called as cinemata. Cinema or cinemata is a large erect reproductive structure. You can see they are very large and they are erect reproductive structure borne by some fungi bearing a compact conidiospores. If you see here, in cinema or cinemata formation, a lot of conidiophores will come together. They get compacted and they get fused together to form a strand. Now this strand will resemble the stalk of a wheat. So a lot of conidiophores will come together, they fuse with each other and they form a stalk, and this stalk we call it as cinema. They form a thick stalk which we call it as cinema, on which there will be a lot of conidiospores. Apart from the cinema, there are other types of conidiophores as well, like sporodochium. This is sporodochium. Now this sporodochium, in the plural form, it is called as sporodochia. It is a small and compact mass of hyphae. Now here what happens is the hypha will form on the base, the hyphal bed will be formed. A lot of hyphae will come together and it forms a bed-like appearance. Now this is called as sporodochium. They form a hyphal bed. On the hyphal bed, this hyphal bed is a compact mass of hyphae. Okay. Now on this hyphal bed, the conidiospores are being formed. What happens is a lot of hypha will form a bed from which the conidiophore arises, which will bear conidia on it. So you can see there is a hyphal bed from which the conidiophores are being arising, and here you can see conidia are being present. These erect structures that you are seeing are all conidia. And apart from this, we have acer volus, another conidiophore formation. Now this acer volus in plural form, it is acer voli. It is a small asexual fruiting body which is flat and a compact mass of hyphae that erupts through the epidermis of the host cell. Now it is usually seen in the pathogenic fungi. So when the pathogenic fungi infects a plant, now this pathogenic fungi which has infected a plant will form a flat and a compact mass of hyphae which will erupt through the epidermis of this host plant. Once they have formed a bed-like structure from which arises a they will form a cushion-like appearance in the epidermis of the plant. The hyphal mass will form a cushion-like appearance inside the epidermis of a plant, host plant. From there arises the conidiophores on which the conidia will be born. And the last type of conidiophore is the pycnidium. This is also a fruiting body which is usually hollow. Here also the compact, this also happens in pathogenic fungi, wherein the pathogenic fungi will infect the host cell, wherein the compact mass of hypha will get introduced into the epidermal layer of the host plant. There it forms a fruiting body which is usually hollow. This hollow region contains the conidiospores. From the hollow region arises conidiophore on which the conidiospores are being present. So that is all about the different types of conidiophore formation. Now again, based on the fungal hyphae, the type of the hyphae, there are two types of conidiophore formation which we call it as thallic mode of conidiophore formation and blastic mode of conidiophore formation. In thallic mode of conidiophore formation, the entire hyphae will get transformed to bear conidia, whereas in blastic mode of conidiophore formation, only a part of hyphae will form specialized structure which will give rise to the conidiophores and conidia. Now let us see the mechanism of conidiospore formation or conidia formation. Now here, from the vegetative hyphae, during the reproductive stage of fungi, a foot cell, a specialized cell is being formed which we call it as a foot cell. Now from this specialized cell arises a conidiophore. Now the foot cell is double walled cell wherein the outer wall is continuous with the mycelium. So from the foot cell arises a conidiophore. The inner wall of this foot cell is growing as a branch to form the conidiophore. This conidiophore length is usually 10 micrometer. In the length of the conidiophore is 10 micrometer. After the conidiophore reaches its appropriate size, it stops growing. Later, it swells at the tip to form a vesicle. Now, simultaneously, the cytoplasm and the nucleus that is present in the vegetative cell will migrate through this conidiophore into this vesicle. Once the nucleus migrates into the vesicle, there it starts dividing mitotically. Now the nucleus from the foot cell, as I told you, will move into the vesicle. The nucleus and the cytoplasm will align towards the outer periphery of the vesicle. You can see here in the periphery, in the outer periphery of the vesicle, they are aligned. This nucleus which is aligned on this outer periphery will undergo synchronous division in a fashion. Synchronous, you know what synchronous means? It has a particular method of dividing. So it undergoes a synchronous division and they give rise to these tiny buds. Now these tiny buds that are formed initially are called as primary sterigmata, or it is also called as metulae. The first buds that are formed from the vesicle, which we call them as primary sterigmata or medullae. From the medullae arises a flask shaped or a cigar shaped body, which we call them as phylides. This phylides will have one nucleus inside it, which is being moved from the vesicle. From the vesicle, nucleus will move into the medullae. From the medullae, it moves into the phylides. Now the phylides will again divide to form, you can see the phylides again, it will divide to form a cigar shaped body called as secondary sterigmata. By this nucleus, during this time the nucleus also keeps moving to reach the phylides and the secondary sterigmata. The nucleus with the cytoplasmic contents get pinched off from the secondary sterigmata at the tip, and now it will be called as conidia. This keeps dividing and it keeps multiplying many a times to form a chain of conidia, which is uninucleate and haploid. Now, the conidia that are formed at the base of the chain is called, if the conidia are formed at this base of the chain, then it will be called as basipetal mode of conidiophore formation, because here the youngest spore is at the base. Example of such fungi are Aspergillus and Penicillium, where there is another mode of spore formation called as acropetal mode of spore formation, which describes a chain that bears the youngest spore at the apex tip. Now this usually is seen in Cladosporium. So there is a basipetal arrangement and acropetal arrangement of spores in conidiospores. Basipetal means the youngest spore will be present at the base of this near the vesicle, whereas acropetal spore arrangement means the youngest spore will be usually present at the uh, uh, tip, at the tip of the hyphae or the tip of the conidia. It will be born at the apex tip. Example is Cladosporium. So that is all about conidiospore formation. So in this video we have covered completely about asexual reproduction, wherein we saw about fission, fragmentation, budding, and then we also saw different types of spore formation like arthrospore, chlamydospore, blastospores, and then we learnt about two important spores, that is sporangiospores and conidiospores. We have also seen what is the difference. Sporangiospores are endogenously formed and conidiospores are exogenously formed. Thank you for watching the video, and in my next video we will be talking about sexual reproduction in fungi. Thank you all.